My daughter. All right. Let's try again. I can't tell you I've learned composition, but I would just hear a sound or hear a melody that goes on top of other melody, and I'll just put it there. I don't really know how I'm doing that. It's all vibes. Try not to think about it too much. There's a moment with any project and any brief that I get to make music that is not to a screen. So now I'm making a music and I'm imagining that somebody is blind and they can't see the screen. And how can I paint the pictures that they're trying to tell me? So I don't score the images, I score the idea, the feeling.
So for the America's Cup one, did you take the sound of Te Reo Tai like flying and use that?
This is the second time I've done that. And the first time I had way less resources because, you know, they didn't, before the cup, they didn't have all the microphones on the boats. This time, the production provided me with 11 mics that are on every single corner of Te Reo Tai. I also can listen to all the sailors. I'm signed to not to share or not to show anybody, but there are so many delicious sounds that even when the boat is not moving anywhere, and they're just like checking sound, the hydraulic stuff, and go like, and you're like, okay, that's a good percussion, or the wave just hit the boat. The boat, it sounds so different, it's so hollow. It's like an instrument. This is my guitar. It's like electric Spanish. I was going for Freddie Mercury, kind of Queen, you know. So many different. I always loved, you know, a lot of jazz and psychedelic music and progressive rock and a lot of things that didn't have much vocals in them. And when I came to New Zealand, I started writing a bunch of stuff that it's just instrumental. And from that moment, like 15, 16 years ago, that kind of weird sounds that I've been developing were being presented as a instrumental pieces, which automatically took them out of the equation of anything commercial. As my sound been developed, I started to get really deeply into the whole looping world, and that way I could have played live and creating all those quite a big worlds out of those looping. I'm taking the guitar and I change the pitch of it so it's becoming like a bass, or I make it sound like it's strings, or make it sound really like anything but guitar. And that sort of lent it for me to kind of start doing gigs that they're more kind of art installation based, and then more meditation, live meditation to thousands of people, and live yoga classes. And that sort of trained me to create stuff that supports dialogue but that doesn't go over it. And around then, that's when people like my partner, my current partner, and she's this beautiful French lady. She said, "Baby, this has to go in the cinema." And I was like, "All right, cool." And was just one thing led to another, and I started really pushing towards that world. I love this one. This is one of my first guitars, and I got to play in Russia with this guitar with White Flag in front of 200,000 people. Wow. That was weird. That was strange. Strange experience. It's really funny because when I'm looking at myself from the outside, I would never really pick myself as a sport guy or somebody that's enjoying to, you know, or even know how to do that, what that means. So maybe just before the pandemic, it was the All Black experience, and I was working in the studio. And if you've been to the All Black experience, when you walk before the haka room, you hear a super morphed and and kind of emotional version of our anthem. And you only figure out that it's the anthem by the end of it, by the end of that track. And when we had people like ex-All Blacks and people from the executive that came to have a listen to it in the studio, they said to us, that's exactly how it feels before you're going out. It's just the feeling that our reality is changing. The adrenaline, everything is whipping us into almost a different dimension. They all say the same thing. It's like being in the zone. And all I can think of for all those sports is I'm just trying to target the heart instead of the mind. I'm not trying to sell any product. I'm not trying to sell anything that is not there, a part of the heart, because the top 10% of those elite athletes also have an extra level of heart that gets them to the greatness, I think.